What's going on, everybody? It's TheNidien, and what we have is our first UFC Fight League card. And as you've seen, the rules in the beginning, we're going to do 5 events. All you got to do is pick your winners and then pick the round. So you can put down like the winners down in the comment and then space in the round. The round is strictly for tiebreakers. It's not going to affect the points at all. And we're just going to go simplistic at first and see what we go from here. Kind of tweak the rules as we go type thing. But I'm just going to do 1 point per fight. I'm going to write down, you know, in my little handy-dandy notebook here, everybody's scores, and then the winner after 5 events wins, you know, a $20 Xbox card, PS3 card, MMO time card, $20 gift certificate to GameStop of your choice, and then once I get the information, I'll go buy it and I'll go send it out to you guys. It's really that simple. If you don't know anything about MMA, just throw picks down there. It's not a big deal. There's a high possibility you can win. Like I said in the past, UFC had a fantasy, and I've been watching UFC since like UFC 16 about. I watched it first, and then I kind of fell out, you know, with all the bare fist knuckle kind of stuff, and when it came back, I started watching it. So, and they had a fantasy league, and I just kind of didn't know much about anything, and just went in, started picking people, started paying attention. And, you know, out of 10 or 20,000 people at some points, I won once, I came in third twice, I came in the top 20, all deemed prizes, and I won a lot of stuff. I won, you know, a lot of t-shirts, mouse pads, DVDs, among many other things, which most of I've given out to my friends because a couple of them were repeat t-shirts, so on and so forth, or the wrong size. You know, they never did get that kind of right. But either way, I did win stuff, and I didn't know much about anything. So just pick your picks, and you never know. And it's just, what the heck, you're not losing anything, right? But this is one of my passions on the outside of, you know, gaming and work and all the other BS that falls around everybody's life. This is something I really enjoy watching and really paying attention to. So I thought I'd bring that to you guys. So like I said, the rules are in the beginning. If you got to go back, I just restated them. Was going to go through and make my picks and put them down in the comments below, or not in the comments, but the comments section, or yeah, the description section, I should say. But I didn't want a bunch of people just copy and pasting it and going from there, because, you know, I may know a little bit more about it than some people, and I just wanted to keep it on an even playing field. One thing I do ask is everybody has their picks in by Friday at midnight, simply due to the card being in Japan, and the times get a little wonky, and we don't want the fight card winners coming out and people being able to pick them. So Friday at midnight is the deadline for this one, and we'll go from there. That way it's all even, because there's been times where, you know, it's been in the UK and the winners have been out long before the fantasy leagues have all shut their doors on the picks, and it's just caused a chaotic mess, and I don't want to get into that and have everybody screaming bloody murder on the very first card that I'm putting out here. So what I did was I went through these fights, and you're going to see the fight card at the end of this video. I got the fight card for you guys. You can pause it. I made it about a minute long, so you guys can get a good look at it, write it down, make your picks, possibly go over to UFC.com, do some research if you want to do some research. If you don't, if you just want to go on a whim, that's fine. But the fight card is going to be at the end of the video for you guys to look at. And it's a long fight card. I was really surprised at how many fights are actually on this. There's a bunch of guys on here that I don't know. Some of them are making their UFC debuts, and I'm not real sure on them. So I'm just going to go a little bit through the fights that I do know and maybe give my opinions on them and how I see the fights going. And like I said, I simulated the top 2 main events, and why I did that was because THQ's been simulating the events for like the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 fights, and they've been pretty spot on. I think that out of 8 of them that they've done, they've only been wrong in 2. They've gotten the winner right, all but 1 of them. But they, like, for the most part, I mean, they've been spot on with the way it's been finished, the round it's been finished in. I was really impressed, so I decided, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to simulate the fights. Obviously, they simulate them 25 times and then go from there. I've only simulated it once, but, you know, it's roughly the same, kind of. So let's go through the fight card here. The first fight, we got Frankie Edgar, the one you're watching here. Frankie Edgar versus Ben Henderson for the lightweight title. And the simulation took it to a 5-round fight. Ben Henderson ended up knocking Freddie Edgar out with a head kick. I see this going to a unanimous decision, though. Per typical Frankie Edgar fights, he really is not much of a finisher. A lot of decision fights, but I see him pulling out the decision once again. I think it's going to be a battle. But like previous fights, you know, Frankie Edgar's got a chin of granite and a heart of a lion, and a lot of people count him out. Every single fight is going to be his last fight as a champion, and it hasn't happened yet. So I see him taking another unanimous decision and keeping his title. The second fight on the list is Rampage versus Bader, which you're going to see the simulation up here in a little bit, and I thought that was spot on. This can go two ways. If Bader can take it down to the ground and ground to pound Rampage out, he'll either win by TKO or decision. But if it stays on the feet, I think Rampage is going to have a little bit too much for him and a little bit too much experience. Bader tends to gas extremely fast after the first round. Rampage has been to the 5-round fights. He's been in the deep waters. And if it goes past the first round and it stays standing, I see Rampage by TKO and possibly the second, early third round. But I don't see this one going to a decision. Both guys got too much power in their hands, and somebody's going to get tagged. So I see Rampage by TKO in the second round, pretty much just how the simulation plays out. The third round is kind of a weird matchup. It's Hunt versus Congo. I'm not exactly sure why Congo is matched up with Hunt. I've watched a few of Hunt's fights, but Hunt's like 7-7. Congo's got a lot more octagon experience than him. And it's one of those things, you know, UFC matchmakers make their matches based on their business. But I see Congo being too much for Hunt to handle, and I see Congo TKOing him or knocking him out in the second round. Hunt's a well-rounded guy, but I just don't see him having too much for Congo. It may surprise me, but I see Congo, like I said, by TKO or knockout in the second round. The next fight is going to be an intriguing one. It's Akiyama versus Jake Shields. Both have been kind of on a downturn as of late. Jake Shields, you know, lost his fight to GSP, then got knocked out almost instantly in his next fight. I know he's had a lot of personal problems, but the guy is an amazing grappler. He can take a punch like none other, but if he can get Akiyama down to the ground, I see him submitting Akiyama in no time flat, either in the first or second round. If Akiyama keeps it standing, this one's going to go to a decision because neither guy's stand-up is like real impressive. It's good, but it's not impressive. And if it stays standing, I see it going to a decision. If it goes to the ground, Jake Shields is going to tear him up and submit him via triangle or armbar, probably first or second round. Next fight's Okami versus Bosch. Now, this is another interesting one where it could play out. This could be an upset, but I don't think Bosch has anything for Okami. Okami's too strong. His wrestling's too good. His ground and pound's too good. And I see him TKOing Bosch in probably the third round, if not taking a unanimous decision. Okami's one of those gatekeepers of the middleweight division. He's not, you know, top tier where he's going to take out an Anderson Silva. As we've seen in the past, he got his butt kicked by Anderson Silva. So I see him, but I do see him beating Bosch by either TKO in the third round or unanimous decision. I just don't think Bosch is going to have anything for the guy. The match that I'm looking forward to out of all the fight cards is this Pettis versus Lausanne. Both guys are really interesting. This could go either way too. It's probably going to be one of the craziest first rounds in MMA history. At least I hope it is. I see Lausanne, if it stays in the first round, if the fight ends in the first round, I see Lausanne taking it by some sort of submission, probably a choke or an armbar. The problem is Lausanne's have had gassing problems in the past. In the second and third round, he hasn't looked all too good in some of his fights, and we don't know which one's going to come. And, you know, jet lag going to play into it and all that other good stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But if it ends up in the first round, I see Lausanne taking it by submission. If it goes in the second or third round, I see this one going to decision via Pettis. I think Pettis is going to be able to just take him, pick him apart, but I don't see him stopping Lausanne. So that's one of those fights that I'm really intrigued to watch and looking forward to. Some of the other fights, like I said, I don't know too much about a lot of these guys. They got Gomi versus Mitsuka. Gomi's was a big pride guy. You know, there was a ton of hype for him coming in the UFC, and he just hasn't been able to perform in the UFC whatsoever. I haven't been impressed with the guy in the UFC, but I think this is going to be his comeback fight. I can see him knocking out or TKOing Mitsuka, and I'm probably still not saying that right, in the first round. I think he's going to come back with a vengeance just to show that he's still in the hunt, still game, and still wants to make a climb back up to the take on Frankie Edgar for the title. So I got Gomi in the first round by TKO or knockout. I think he's just going to come out blazing, hence the Fireball Kid. And the other fights, I'm kind of just going to leave hanging for now. There's a couple guys on here that I know about, but their opponents I don't know too much about. So I don't want to end up looking too dumb and getting, you know, comment raped by a bunch of MMA fans for not knowing what I'm talking about. So that's what I got for my opinions on the fight. And like I said, it's real simple, guys. Check out the fight card at the end of the simulation, and then pick your fights. Make sure you put the round for tiebreakers, and good luck to everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope I get a lot of interaction. And if we get a bunch of guys that are into this, and I find out a lot of you guys have possibly picked up UFC Undisputed 3, maybe we could do like a little tournament, little bracketed tournament with a bunch of people. Maybe I'll get in on it, or maybe I'll just kind of watch the fights and go from there. I think it'd be a lot of fun to get in on and just have a lot of fun, because I don't do a lot of fight games. This is pretty much the fight game I pick. I used to be, I used to love the old Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, but I've just fallen out of it, and I have picked up Mortal Kombat, but I just couldn't get back into it like I used to. So it's one of those things. This is my type of fight game, and we'll go from there. So as always, guys, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you pick your picks by Friday at midnight. Get them down there in the comments. I'm going to keep promoting this video, shouting out to you guys so it doesn't get lost in all the Vanquish playthroughs and everything, and Trine playthroughs that are coming through your door in a hurry this week. One every day pretty much, 2 on some days. So that's what I got for you guys today. As always, keep your heads up. Have a great day. Peace. What's going on, everybody? It's TheNidien, and I just wanted to let you guys know I provided a bunch of quick links for all my playlists. I'm going to be updating as we go, adding more games, and all that other good stuff. Also, check me out over on Justin TV for my live streams and Twitter.com to keep you guys updated on what's going on. And head on over to the VidThru and VSO Gamers page to find a variety of videos from a variety of directors ranging throughout all the genres. I'm sure there's going to be something over there you guys enjoy. So as always, keep your heads up. Have a great day. Peace.